sure that's set. What are you talking about? What the heck? Let's see who joins. Ask me about music. Ooh, that's stanky, bro. Da 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 da. So far, this is like the longest it's taken for this live stream to actually do anything. I'm gonna get pan. I got some barbacoa. Got this Schmeat. All right. Get on out of there, boy. Gotta get enough for me and the babies. The babies and me. Yeah. Squeezing this out is a lot. Who is here? Amazing. Just cooking. Figured I'd go live. Ask me about audio and music while I cook my food. You can watch me cut some jalapenos. Try not to cut my fingers. Nice. Anyone do audio? Anyone do music? Let me know. Pro tip, if you want to be able to dice your onions really well, you want to score them all the way to the edge, but you don't quite cut them all the way at the edge. I'll show you in a sec. I've actually debated doing a cooking channel too. So, you see this? Now you can just cut it in the middle like that. And now when you dice it, it's gonna be freaking perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. And the trick is, don't cut your hands. It's always good not to cut your dang hands. The one person who is here What you up to today? What are y'all doing? What are you doing? Cutting the cilantro. How long did it take me to do what? To cut the onion? Or to like do that knife skill technique thing. And I move it over here because I have the what's it called? The barbacoa that I gotta deal with right here now. Honestly, I don't know how long it took. It's just kind of, I don't know. I'm also into cooking in addition to the audio, video stuff. So I watched a lot of Joshua Weissman. I don't know if you know who that is, but I actually used to produce videos with him. Well, more edit. I didn't actually produce. I did more of the editing for some of his videos. So I got to see what he would do. And I don't have a spatula because they're all freaking dirty. Wait, I do. Never mind. Hello. I am making barbacoa and eggs right now. Right now I'm letting the barbacoa get the fat out, letting it simmer in its own juice. I just cut the serranos, onions, and cilantro for the toppings. I already have the eggs prepped and everything. I have to feed my baby also. Do you like to cook? Oh, I love cooking. Cooking is so similar to music production and audio, so I just like naturally kind of gravitate to it also. It's like mixing. You know, you have all these ingredients, you have all these elements you have to be able to combine together, and different techniques to make them work for different cuisines, the same way you would do audio and do mixing for different genres. So I take to it very, very similarly. Need to loosen this up with some oil. What are you making? I am making eggs with barbacoa. So right now I'm simmering the barbacoa down and it's on fat, letting it get crispy. Can you say you gotta give it that hawk to and spit? Yeah, dude, you gotta give it that hawk. You gotta spit on it, bro, or else your food's gonna taste like crap. If you don't give it that hawk, it's gonna suck. Anyone in here do music? Do you have children in your basement like me? No, I have a child in my bedroom who's watching Number Blocks and playing with toys while I make this food. I have that. We don't have basements here in Texas. Water table's too high. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that schmeat, bro. Look at that schmeat. I'm gonna go to the fridge. I think the eggs are. Where did I put the eggs at? Where are my eggs? Oh, I need my salsa. Anyone in here do music? Anyone a musician? Mixing, audio engineering, any of that? Anyone do fun things, cool things? Can you play the song Europa Oro Papa? I don't know what that is. How did you get inspiration to decorate your house? What kind of question is that? That's what I said. That's how I played it off. But what's it called? I mean, when you buy a house, mixed and mastered, anything you can listen to. Okay, hold on. So, when you buy a house, I mean, naturally you want to, enjoy the house that you live in. So, that's part of it. And then having a wife is cool too, so that kind of helps. But the funny thing about that is I actually care more about, you know, the decor and all that stuff than she does. It's hilarious. But my mixing and mastering stuff is pretty much all on this YouTube channel. So hey, if anyone's in here, subscribe. Just subscribe. You know, if anyone likes anything music related, just subscribe to this channel. I do talk about how music is created and all that stuff, mixing and mastering. But my website is in the description of this YouTube channel, which has pretty much well, it's not my whole portfolio. I need to update it, but it has a lot of my stuff in my portfolio. So you can listen to stuff there. My nationality, I am a bunch of things, but I'm primarily Mexican and Spanish. So from both of the motherlands. All right, so now what we're gonna do, so now that we're starting to simmer this down a bit more, we're gonna saute the onions in the beef fat. Put the onions, then I'm also gonna get a little bit of cilantro in there. Can you play Astronaut in the, well, I mean, I'm not really anywhere to where I can play any music right now. So, can't be playing nothing. I wish I was doing pasta because then I could do the tosses, the pasta toss. That would make me look sick. Gotta let this get crispy. Gotta let it get all crispy. Who wants to see my meat? Where is your wife? She is working because I'm self-employed and I work from home. Since I do audio engineering and video production, I have my own office. I'll just walk to the office. The studio is right here. So this is where I work. Can we come over? Hi. Yeah, come over. Let's go. Come over. The baby's mad. She's like, I want some food, bruh. Baby said, give me some food, nigga. You didn't hear the baby just screaming right now? All right, how old are you? Prove I have a child. Look at them baby bottles right there. Come on. Come on, bro. What are you doing? Oh yeah, I need to flip this around so you can see the mate. Starting to get crispy. Needs a little bit more time because I like my barbacoa to be pretty crispy. Oh, there was a child that was screaming, bro. I walked right past. I was right past that kid. Went. Ah! I got the eggs right here. Are any of you guys musicians? Audio engineers? Anybody? Yeah. Anybody? You could have just gotten those so that way you can drink out of them. What are you talking about? Gotten. Oh. the baby bottles. You're right. We're almost there. Starting to get crispy, bruh. Starting to get about music or audio. No one's asked me any audio things. Yeah, so whenever I'm working from home, I have to be a the whole stay-at-home dad thing don't work, dude. It don't work. I'm not even gonna lie, that poor kid. I have to have her cooped up all the time because I'm just so busy. That is always nice. All right. Help people. You help people make better music. Nice. What do you do? What's your job? Are you a producer? Starting to smell good. So, pro tip, a lot of people don't do this. If you make, while your stuff is cooking that you would normally put pepper in, if you put your stuff to the side like this, you can squeeze some, not squeeze, pardon, freshly ground black pepper. You let that toast. A lot of people don't toast their spices, but when you toast pepper, it's super fragrant. Nice. What type of music do you produce? Let that toast a little bit. If you guys are in the chat, subscribe. I'm almost at 1,000. Help me get to 1,000. Almost there. Yeah. All right, now it's finally time for the eggs. Yo. All genres, nice. Gotta make sure the meat is evenly dispersed in these eggs. Nice. I'm tempted to do the omelet thing. You know, I might do the omelet thing. Let me see. Let's see if I can do it. Right here. Come on, bro. Come on. There we go. Throw some more at the last second here. I do pretty much all genres also, but I'd like to, I prefer doing metal mostly. I love me that heavy music. I just did a YouTube video either yesterday or the day before, I think it was the day before, with one of my artists that I work with. And I was demoing a new plugin from Metric Halo and Maple Leaf Studios. It's a really sick plugin. You should check the video out. They have a demo for that plugin. It's really, really good. Really, really good. Damn, it smells good. Alright, so that's done. The eggs are done. Oh, you did? Sick. Alright, now I am using the same pan for, what's it called? What is that thing called? Tortillas. Yeah, you gotta have tortillas. If you're not in Texas, you don't have HEB, so you don't have HEB tortillas. So, sorry for y'all who don't live in Texas or have never had HEB or experienced HEB. HEB's goated. Do you do mixing and mastering, Sky? Or do you just produce? Heck yeah, let's go. You know about HEB. Yeah, I think you're the only one left. I think everybody dipped, especially that weird guy who's talking about children in basements. That's crazy. Children in basements. Da-da-da-da. Well, now we got 2 more people back in here. Nice. What's your favorite part of the music process? Do you like producing more, engineering more, mixing, mastering more? What's your favorite part? There they are, and the eggs. Eggs with beef. We should collab. Yeah, I'd be down. There's that. Da-da-da-da. Oh yeah, hot drums. Drums. I'm hearing a sound that sounds weird. Bruh. Child, how did you where did you get this from, bruh? This child got like got the cleaning tool for the damn toilet. I don't know how this kid did that. That's crazy. Your food's almost done. Oh. Probably mixing and mastering. Yeah, same here. It's my favorite part of the process too. I was too lazy to make my own salsa, so I got this salsa from HEB, which is insane. It's actually great. It's for almost $7, but good. It actually tastes like salsa from a restaurant, not like that canned preservative boo-boo cheese. Where is the plate? There it is. Gotta divvy it up. We got 2 portions here. Nice. What drum kit do you have? You're in Texas? Waiting for tortillas to cook is always, I don't know, is boring. Boring. Let me see, I'll open this chat here. Yeah, watching tortillas cook is like watching paint dry. So much fun. Does everybody flip their tortillas with their hands and not use like a spatula? Or is that just because I'm Mexican? Mexican. Alright, I think these are done. They are indeed done. What's up? Woo! 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 I dropped one. The Chef David, that's what I do. I feel like if I didn't go down the path of audio engineering and video stuff, I probably would have been a chef. Barbacoa and egg with cilantro and onion. Just made tortillas, gonna make my tacos, gonna plate it up, make it look delicious. Bro, for real, need to leave the chat. Nice rolling drum kit. Bro, for real, need to leave the chat. Hey, if you gotta go, no worries. I appreciate you sticking around and just vibing. I usually just cook in solidarity and by myself. So I was like, you know what, let me go live. Let me see what these people be up to. Trying to plate this up from the wrong thing. Yeah. Right now I am making sure that I have the right amount of meat in every single one of my tacos here. My schmeat tacos. There we go. Gonna dress them up over here. Back. Brings us back to the mise en place station. Bonus points and a kiss if you know what mise en place means. Anyone know what mise en place means? Anybody? Okay, nice. Ooh. Da, 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 da. Gonna go ahead and put my chopped serranos. Chopped serranos and my onion, yeah. Uh-oh, somebody said something on my YouTube video. I don't know if it's a good one, if it's a bad comment, but I'll see in a bit. I had somebody on that YouTube video, the most recent one that I did, they like ignored everything the video was about. Was like, hey bro, people won't take you serious with your earrings and your jewelry. I'm just like, bro, shut up. Respectfully, be quiet. Da 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 da. I'm not even trying with this plating here. I'm just trying to get this done so I can eat. My salsa here. Mise en place is a French term that refers to getting your food prepared, or your condiments and your things to cook with prepared before you actually cook. It's basically just prep. But in the culinary world, you call it mise en place. So that's why if you cut your veggies and your stuff and prepare everything beforehand before you actually start cooking, then you don't have to do that afterwards. Wow, who knew? And your food doesn't get cold. Yes, lad. Just wanted to pop in and say what's up. Driving home, but want to say enjoy your content and love your production style. Hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate it, man. Let me know about the mastering stuff too when you get a chance. I know you said they had to talk to your band about it and all that stuff. My biggest influences and where did you learn to mix, produce, and master? I guess my biggest influence is on the engineering side. It kind of comes and it goes sometimes. Well, actually, first before I'll do the review of the tacos. So the food's done. For those who've been watching since I was cutting the damn onion. But my biggest influences, man, that's hard. I'd say Taylor Larson is one of them. Like his drum sounds, I like his drum sounds a lot, particularly his snare. Nolly is another one, which is kind of interesting because Nolly and Taylor both have completely different, almost separate ideologies when it comes to the way a snare should sound. I know that Taylor hates Nolly snares, but I love both of them, so I try to incorporate both of those styles. So my snare kind of ends up sounding like a mixture of like both of those two people. I can't think of those are kind of like the two bigger ones. There's other people that I really like Lance Prince for the loudness. I like him in particular just because he's like I'm just gonna make crap super loud and I don't care. I am a fan of George. I like George. I would say that I'm not gonna say that we mix the same, but every time I hear one of his mixes, it kind of reminds me of kind of how mine sound in a way. Except I think he uses less room sound. I like a lot of room sound. He likes more of, from what I can tell, and a lot of his mixes more, drier drums, which is okay. But I noticed that in terms of where we like to seat things in a mix, we seem pretty similar. So I am a fan of his mixes for that reason. And fun fact, me and George have actually mixed the same band. This is band Gutter King that I mixed like their first two EPs with, and then they decided to try George out for the next one. And I made a post in the URM Recording Academy group about something, or no, he made a post about something. No, somebody else made a post about something. It was like, hey, I have an answer to this question, and you can find it in the song that I worked with for this band. And George replies, like, wait, is that this band? And I'm like, yeah. And then we're just like, yo, we mixed the same band. So that was cool. I do like George. I've never met him before, but he's cool. A lot of my friends know him. Other influences that I have, Serban on the pop side of stuff, just really pristine. I love a really nice upfront pop vocal. Seth Munson, another one, who's also one of my friends on the pop side of things. He actually mastered, when I sent you that track Retribution, he mastered that one. I sent that to him to master because I figure if it's my own stuff, I'll at least send that out for somebody else to master, just because I have too much attachment to it, so that's the least I can do. I know there's more influences, I just can't think of it, because I haven't really been influenced that as much from other people as I did earlier on. Like my early influences were like, Joey Sturgis, Cameron Mizell, the whole metalcore era. And when I first started mixing and doing production, I was like, I want stuff to sound like that. And then once I was able to make stuff sound like that, I'm like, okay, now I need to find my own sound and not just, copy. Because I was able to nail that within a year, but I was like, I don't want to sound like a copycat. So pretty much ever since that point, it was just kind of like, I'm going to take how this person does this and do that, and take how this person does this and do that, and then just kind of create my own sound for all of that. Someone said something on this YouTube video. I'm gonna take a bite of this taco though. I'm gonna go to the studio and check on something. Oh wow, that came out amazing. The caramelization from the onions on there is crazy. Sick. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, like whenever you sent that mix over, I could hear like that the flavor of keeping things feeling raw but still really processed. Like that's kind of where I'm at now, is I want things to feel raw but sound stupid processed and like juiced. So it's like you're almost kind of like you have this cognitive dissonance between the two. You're like, is this like super modern? But it can't be super modern because there's this like edge to it. So I'm really into that. Crane song. Oh, what does this guy say? Oh, he worked on an MCI. Nice. Huh, that's cool. Someone ended up commenting on the video about the history of the MCI console. So that's cool. I'm surprised that new video is like actually doing pretty well. It's over 3,000 views already, which is kind of crazy to me. Crane song. And then on the other video, someone just comments Crane song ... for the one with the mix head. People are goofballs, man. They be goofballs. All right, it's time to feed this baby. It's time to feed the baby. I'm actually gonna sit over here. I have to get the baby food. And get the baby. Say hi to the stream. Oh dang, I have to get it. Dang. Forgot she dirtied this. Did you see the beef on Nick's head? On oh yeah, on Nick's head? Yeah, dude. I'm part of the beta, so like between me and you and whoever else, the other person that's in here, in the beta testing group, oh man, we were chopping hard. We were chopping, yeah, like I can't say too much, but we were definitely talking in the beta testing group chat that we have about that. But I don't know, what I have to say about that is I think it's just, as everybody else thinks, it's funny how, you know, the people who don't really have good sounding mixes like to say things about tools that they don't really know about. And, you know, I know that Rick Carson came out and he did his debunk video about, you know, that whole thing. And it's like, people still want to think they're right. At the end of the day, people just want to think they're right. They have like some type of issue and whatever. People are just weird. Like fire! when you realize that you have whole Cane's iced tea from last night that you didn't drink because you made a protein shake instead of drinking iced tea. Dude, this is like an unexpected dub. That's crazy. Dude, yeah, that's funny. The power button that had me toggling the power button for a fat minute. That's hilarious. Like when I first downloaded, I was like, "Is this doing anything?" It's hilarious. Yeah, people were mad about the whole aliasing thing, and it's like it's from a box from like the I don't know if it's late 1990s or late 1980s. I forgot the year exactly, but aliasing was part of the sound, and I'm calling this, and I'm going to continue to call this in the same way that we are now thinking about. We want harmonic distortion. We want things to sound dirty and vibey and all that stuff. Whereas in the old days, they're like, we don't want any of that. We want something clean and pristine. In that same way, people are going to want aliasing. People are going to go back and be like, yo, we realized that the early digital records that we loved, the plugins had aliasing, and there's aliasing all over the records, and there is. And the mix head has aliasing all over the thing. That's why people are like, it's the aliasing head or aliasing machine. And it's like, in the same way that people are looking for harmonic distortion and, dirty, vibey sounds, aliasing is just another tool in that. And in my opinion, aliasing sounds better most of the time than pre-ringing, which is largely what you're going to be, trading off if you're not doing oversampling or doing oversampling. But a lot of people aren't ready for that conversation. Yeah, Babish, you ready to eat that food? People who complain about aliasing is just annoying. People who complain about aliasing, catch my drift. These tacos came out fire. I wish y'all could have some. The baby is going to eat now. Whoa! The child is happy. Alistair, if you're still here, what's your favorite plugin? What inspires you the most? Good job. Da 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 da. If anyone has any questions, just let me know. To the 3 people who are the real ones and chilling. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe so I can hit 1,000. So I can hit that 1,000. Here you go. That was spicy. Channel strips like Niyama. I've never tried that. I've actually never heard of it. The Niyama? I don't know how to say that. Neve, okay. I was going to be like, What is that? I was about to literally search that up and be like, what channel strip is that? I feel you on that. A lot of the time I forget that I use channel strips or have channel strips, and then I'm like, oh, I should probably use that. Like, I like them all. I just never usually gravitate towards channel strips, but when I do, it's either the kit, the Blackbird one, the BBN 105, or the SSL native. Pro MB, dude. I don't know if you've seen the stuff that I do with Pro MB. That is probably my most used plugin outside of an EQ is Pro MB. I use Pro MB for so much sidechain stuff now. I used to be very anti-sidechain. I used to be very, very anti-sidechain. My philosophy was like, if you have to start sidechaining, it's because you don't know how to EQ correctly. I've kind of evolved from that position a lot, and I sidechain a lot of things. And what's cool with Pro MB is how much you can sidechain, and you can do expansion and compression at the same time. And you can have one band do external and another band do internal at the same time. It's crazy. You can do some mad scientist shit with Pro MB. I love it, dude. One of my favorite plugins. I do wish that they would make a Pro MB too, though, to where, kind of like the Kirchhoff EQ, maybe on Pro MB, you could have different type of flavors on the different bands. So maybe you could have an 1176 type flavor, or a 2A flavor, or a VCA style flavor, or whatever. So you can change the topology of the bands that you choose. Here, you want some water? Here. Key spikes is cool. What I usually do is like I'll do I think if I had an assistant I would do key spikes again, but I do a mixture of Pro MB and what you crying about, dude? I'll do a mixture of Pro MB expansion and Slate Trigger, the gate on Slate Trigger to do stuff. I feel like I usually only need to do key spikes if the drums are recorded poorly. If the drums are recorded poorly and there's a lot of bleed in there, then it's like, okay, I have to do key spikes or I'm cooked. Seriously gotta make you. Yeah, drums and even guitars. Yeah, dude. I don't use key spikes necessarily for guitars, but what I'll do to make guitars poke really hard and hit really hard in breakdowns is I will do both compression and both multiband compression and multiband upward expansion for what's it called? On the hits. So every time the kick hits, I'll sidechain the guitar bus or the rhythm guitar bus to the kick. That way, every time the kick hits, the guitar blooms and it clamps down. So I'll have it do upward expansion in the mid range, so you get more of that bark, and then I'll do downward compression sidechain to it doing the same thing with the kick to where that. But I'll let the release be a little bit longer, because one thing I hate in breakdowns is when the guitar fizz is a little bit has too long of a tail on the chugs when the kick hits, and it kind of steals the punch away. So what I'll do is I'll make the release time on that compressor be a little bit longer, so it clamps on the fizz on the top end only on the top end when the kick hits, and it kind of tucks it into the transient with the kick drum. Arya, you want to eat that food? Yeah. Good job, baby. Yeah, dude, I'd be down. I'd be down. In this recent mix I just did, I did exactly what I was just describing, and it made such a huge difference in the breakdown. It got so much more aggressive and so much more controlled at the same time. That's why I like it, because you get both the aggressive and the control aspect at the same time, whereas usually if you're going for aggression, you're kind of sacrificing control, but with this trick you can kind of get both. And the cool thing is you can, yeah, I that's actually on my list for a YouTube video to do. I actually want to make like a kind of like a whole series on Pro MB, just because I feel like not enough people use Pro MB in the way it can be used, and they start doing like, oh, I'm gonna use Track Spacer, which Track Spacer is cool, or they use Soothe, or what are you crying about, dude? You want to feed yourself, huh? Alright, here you go. Have fun. If you make a mess, Daddy ain't gonna be happy. Yeah, I've been thinking of making an actual video on Pro MB, just doing the weird stuff like that. Being like, hey, look, you can do this. But I kind of treat it like a mastering thing. It's kind of like turning on Mastering Brain while you're a mixer. It's like, oh, I want my guitars to poke out more. But instead of using a transient designer, let me just sidechain that to the kick. So the kick, every time the kick hits, guitar comes up with the chugs. And let's say it's at a part to where you don't want that to happen. You just set a manual bypass. You can just bypass it throughout the song. That's why I do it on the bus. So a lot of the stuff that I do on the buses, Pro MB is all over my buses. All over the place. Aria, why are you playing with your food? If you're gonna play with your food, I'm gonna take it away from you. Let's see. That was crazy. One of the guys earlier was like, dude, while you're making your food, just do hak tua on it and say spit on that thing. That's crazy. So your channel's an hosted video. Yeah, there's different filters on here? I didn't know there was filters. What the heck? That's crazy. The bubble filter. Have like dance party filter, but like when I'm in the studio. Democrats. There. I'm gonna rock with 8mm film. Because why not? No, ma'am. Here's your water. Here's your water. They should call this place Raising Gains. I think I had a dream about that. I think I had a dream that someone called this Raising Gains because you just get so much gains from all the protein and the carbs. Dude, that is not what that's for. This child is putting food in the nozzle. Alright, dude, you're done. You're done. done. Now I can actually get to work. Eating is so annoying. It's actually really annoying. It just takes time out of my day. I have to cook, and then you have to clean, and then you have to eat. I just want to be productive. Innovative thinking from Baby D. Yeah, pretty much. She's like, hey, do this in your mix. This baby is entirely innovative. Like, all she does, I'm serious, all she does is like, she does everything that you're not supposed to do with an item or a toy or whatever it is. It's like, oh, this goes here. It's like, that's cool, but I'm gonna do it my own way because I don't care about all that. You show her how to do something the way it's supposed to be done, she's like, yeah, I don't care. I want to do it my way because, like, I think this is cool. So we'll see how that translates to the studio. Oh my gosh. The little super baby. Alright. Have fun. Yeah. Trying to drink the calories, dude, it's hard. It's hard because it's like you have to make the dang, either one or two things. You either buy all the ingredients on the cheap and you have to constantly make your smoothies and constantly do the stuff, or you just spend a bunch of money on the protein powder. It's or mass gainer or whatever, which is annoying because it just gets expensive so fast. Working out and not necessarily eating healthy, but like eating with physique goals in mind is very difficult because it's freaking expensive when you're a skinny ass dude like me who burns calories in their sleep. I have to eat so much, dude. I have to eat so much, it's crazy. I'm gonna turn this filter off. This filter is starting to get annoying. Much better. Just kidding. Yo. Pop filter is not bad. It's a pretty good filter. Drinking the calories. I have to like clean all this stuff up because the baby throws things on the floor. It does what babies do. I don't know if you said it yet. Did you see the new video with MBSI plugin? That compressor on that thing is crazy. It's entirely digital. It's not modeled after anything analog. And it sounds analog. It's like, how does that happen? I think there's chunks in my pee. That's not good. Did your chunks look like this? Yeah, dude, get MBEQ. If you use MBEQ and you start to use it in place of Pro Q3, the game's gonna change. It sounds, I'm not sure what your main EQ is, but like for a digital EQ, MBEQ is like really, really good because it doesn't, when you cut things on Pro Q, things start to sound weird. It sounds like it affects things around it that it's not affecting. Like, it's weird. Whereas MBEQ is a bit more transparent. It's not 100% transparent, but it doesn't sound like you just mangled the sound. Yeah, in that case, I would do MBEQ. That, and you can be really fast with it because it has, if you hold Option or Control or Command, it changes the key command, so you can, you know, adjust your what's it called, your Q factor and your Q factor, gain, frequency, all that stuff super easily just by doing the commands. Switch to notch filters and do that, and it's super fast, like crazy fast. When you learn the workflow with the key commands, it's nuts. Agent Kylos. All right. Yeah, the workflow does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you do get it, it's stupid fast. Like, I pull it up for everything, and you can just. But what I like the most about like that idea of it in particular is you spend less time listening to frequencies that'll make your ears want to, you know, off themselves, like distorted guitars or cymbals. Like, when you pull that up, you don't have to go fishing and hunting and doing all those things and like, oh, let me get this, let me adjust the key and adjust this. Now you go and then just kill it really quickly so your ears aren't getting fatigued for as long. Yeah, there's definitely good uses for both. Pro-Q I'll use now almost exclusively for dynamic stuff, almost just for dynamics. But even then, I wish it had a attack and release control, which is really unfortunate. But most of the time, it's good. I used to use Pro-Q. I've used Pro-Q for the majority of my entire career and mixing journey and everything. So like Pro-Q was the shit for me. But the one thing I have to get this plugin. I actually didn't get the beta for this one, but Sonic EQ. I don't know if you've seen Sonic EQ from Metric Halo. That thing is crazy. That is the most transparent EQ that probably exists in the world. It's kind of nuts. It doesn't do anything that you don't want it to do, which you only realize that when you hear what Sonic EQ does. Then it exposes what every other EQ that you ever use does. You're like, oh, that's what cutting this is supposed to sound like? It's a really weird thing. But it's also $200, so, and I didn't get the beta for that one, so I haven't bought it yet. But I probably will, because I'm a very surgical person when it comes to EQ most of the time. That's where I pull out the channel strips if I want the vibe. EQs. You can touch my EQ. I'm gonna make a coffee. I'm going to make a coffee right now. Someone help me choose my coffee. I have a lot of things I can do. Got white chocolate, got caramel, got dark chocolate, cinnamon, vanilla, raspberry, salted caramel. Which, oh, I have ube too. Forgot about my ube. Who wants to pick coffee? What should I make? Oh, I also have horchata. Horchata mix. Have I used Oxford Inflator or Sonox plugins? I haven't used them. Combine all the coffee, all of it. I haven't used any of the Sonox stuff, but I know people who swear up and down and love it, and I've heard the videos, so you know I believe in it. I just never bought it. I have too many plugins already, which is interesting because whenever I find other people and I see how many plugins they have, I'm like, damn, I hardly have any plugins. But most of the time, I'm like, I have too many because I don't use them all. I've been trying to really limit how many plugins I use. just because I don't need any more options. I think I kind of have everything I need, unless there's super niche designs. I think I'm gonna make the horchata latte. I'm gonna do that. Oh. Which combines a lot of things. Combines this mix with white chocolate and caramel and cinnamon. So this is gonna be Elf Fire. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Just making some coffee right now before I cry about editing a video that I don't feel like editing right now, but I have to get it done. But that smells so good. Get that white chocolate in there. No. That's one shot. Go for the second shot. Ethiopian beans, nice. I want to get a real espresso machine. That way I can, actually get into the more artisan coffees. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of drip coffee. I like almost only do espresso now, but the flavors are super limited with Nespresso, and you can't get the fresh beans because it's already prepackaged stuff. But it is a pretty good job. Like, look at that crema. It's not bad. I gotta make sure that's evenly distributed in there. I can't believe I'm actually making espresso right now, because I had, not even 2 hours ago, I had two scoops of pre-workout. I mean, I drink coffee for the taste of coffee. I don't really do it for the caffeine. But, yeah, that was like already 300 milligrams of caffeine from the pre-workout. And this is like another 160, something like that. All right, now I'm gonna gotta get the coffee. I mean the milk. Get soft top. I can't believe I forgot the most important thing for the horchata latte. Put a good amount of cinnamon in there. What's everybody up to right now? The two homies that are in the chat. Those you're also in the. Yeah, I am. I am in those discords. I don't participate in the first two, but I am pretty active in the Mix Collective Discord. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate the love, man. Yeah, all the guys in Mix Collective, those are the homies. Mix Collective is essentially the Clubhouse rooms that we used to have, just moved to Discord. We used to, man, Clubhouse was so fun.
It used to be me, Kevin, Ryan, and Rick, both from Make Believe, Bob Horn. Which I think that's hilarious. Whenever you say Bob Horn, you have to say Bob Horn. You can't just say Bob unless someone knows Bob. And you're talking about audio. You have to say Bob Horn, which is hilarious. But yeah, he was there. Michael Denton, Michael Frankie, all the guys used to hang there. Yeah, Bob's awesome, man. Bob's such a humble and great dude. Every time I get to see him at either AES or NAMM, he's always such a good dude. I was happy to go to the Echo Bar, his studio, before he had to close it up last year at NAMM. That was my first time being there. This is just got home from work, been teaching drums all day. Nice. So now you get to chill. You're like, no more drums. Dude, you're an insane drummer also. No, yeah, Bob is like the complete opposite. And he's not afraid to give compliments either. Like whenever I was at the studio, I played one of these hip hop mixes that I did. It was a freestyle, and he like looked at it. He's like, you mix this? He's like, you mix rock, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, that bass is crazy for a rock mixer or a metal mixer. He was complimenting the mix. He's like, apart from the snare, like he did say, like, apart from the snare that sounds like an ice pick in my brain, this mix is incredible. Alistar, I haven't seen any of your YouTube videos, but I've checked out on your Instagram. You're freaking nuts. And the track you sent me, I mean, you obviously know how to tune drums. You obviously know how to hit drums. Freaking amazing. Since you're here, I guess I can show my kit. I don't know if you know about crushed drums. Also, I will definitely check out your YouTube videos. But I freaking love this kit. 100% North American birch. I need to get my crashes because I don't have. This China's not supposed to be here. Please don't judge me. I literally don't have any crashes. It's hilarious. So I have a stack, a China, a ride, and a hi-hat, which it's good enough to be able to play with and everything, but I really need some crashes. These are my favorite hi-hats ever. Favorite. And this snare, sick. I actually made samples of this kit, and I am going to release them at some point. I have to make a pack and do all that stuff, but I'll probably like sell the samples for dirt cheap, like $5. But they sound incredible. Like, look at this room, dude. Look at this. Vaulted seat, like, imagine the drum sound. I mean, I can just play, actually. I'll just play real quick so you can hear what these drums sound like in this room, because it's kind of insane. If I can tighten this up. Yeah, dude, honestly, I'll give them. I can definitely just send them to you when I'm done. I have to just make the TCIs. Yeah, this kid's crazy. Sounds. I love this kit. I just need to get the mics to be able to start actually recording live drums. Yeah, dude, it is a sleeper kit. It's a huge sleeper kit. And I'm only rocking one pedal with this. I need to get a new pedal, dude. My friend has double pedals, so I've just been using this crappy PDP. But I got my friend from church. He's letting me use his Lowboy. Freaking love this thing.
Just sounds so good. Yeah, this kick is muted to all heck on the inside. This actually is barely touching the batter head. It's more so to get rid of the reflections, because whenever I was making the kick sample, it had a nasty flutter echo. The flutter echo in there was trash. Ugh. Give you a blast beat. Oh. Bro, I can't even do a blast beat with this pedal as I should probably be able to. Let me see if I can single pedal blast. Let me see if I got it. Let's see. That's just embarrassing. I'm just embarrassing myself. The band Tala, yeah, dude. What's crazy about that is I used to follow their vocalist, like way back when he won the old Jared Dines competition, back when he was called Amnion. Dude's crazy. I haven't listened to Tala and their new stuff, but I pretty much followed that guy for a while, because I thought his vocal style was super interesting. I was like, that's kind of crazy. Ugh. The drummer's nuts. Damn. Ugh. I'm trying to think of really sick drummers that I've met doing things. I had a friend who met what's his name? I had a friend who met Matt Gartzka, and he didn't know who he was, which is hilarious. He went to a practice studio that his friend was at. I think it was in Maryland or whatever, and he was playing, and he leaves the practice studio, and then he goes to he's walking down the hall, and he hears somebody just ripping it on drums. He's like, what the heck? And he was telling me the story. He's like, I stayed outside of that room for 10 minutes just listening to him play until he stopped. And then he's like, I went in and I was going to tell him how sick he was and ask him if I could work with him, because he was an audio engineer. And he was like, yo, dude, you're so sick. He's like, and Matt was like, yeah, thanks. And he was like, he's like, are you in a band? He's like, yeah, I'm in a band. And he's like, I'd love to work with your band. And he didn't even realize he was pitching to Matt Garska of Animals as Leaders. And then he was like, what's your band? He's like, Animals as Leaders. And then my friend was like, that's you? He didn't know who Matt Garska was. And he just lost his shit. I thought that was a funny story. He just tried to pitch mixing and mastering to Matt Garska. Honestly, bro, I'd love to mix Animals as Leaders. I have their stems from, what's it called? Dude, if I mix a new I would love it, dude. So I'm part of Nail the Mix. I don't pay anymore, but I'm in the group still. But every now and then I'll get the tracks if something's like super interesting to me. And when they did that, when what's his name, Nick ended up doing it, going on there to do Nail the Mix, I downloaded those tracks. Dude, that's one of my favorite mixes I've ever done. And I can't post it or do anything because it's not my song. I don't have rights or anything. I can't use it in a portfolio piece. I'm just thinking, like, man, they need to hire me. They need to know who I am so I can mix their shit already. Man. That... No, not Nolly. Nolly did... He did Joy of Motion. Nolly did Joy of Motion. I'm gonna go backwards hat today. Backwards hat. But, no, it was Nick Morzov. Nick Morzov was the one who did the most recent one, Monomyth. Who, he's actually a smaller guy. Yeah, I can send you a link. Hey, what's up, Sky? I'm fed. Baby's fed. We're in the studio. Now I have to turn my Vibey lights on. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if it paused everything, but I had to get the lights on. I'm gonna put this here for now. Fortunately, gotta edit this video. Actually, I'm gonna go get this stand so I can have it to where y'all can see the screen as I'm editing. Hello, babies. Is your show stopped? The baby show stopped. I gotta start it again. There you go. Please don't make no boom booms today. Gotta get this thing. Whenever I did the drum samples, so like the drums are here, right? What I did is I put a mic, I put the room mic right here where I'm standing relative to the drums. So this is room mic 1. And then room mic 2, which was actually the hallway mic, was right here. So the studio's here. Drums are down the hallway over there. This is where I had the second mic, and this one, snare sounds crazy in here. Even with the baby. I'll just leave it right here. The baby will just stare into everybody's soul. My baby's gonna start speaking in tongues at everybody. The baby's gonna prophesy over everyone in the chat. The Spirit of the Lord says, go, go, gaga. Okay, turn this on. Da, 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 da. I've been debating, I might actually do it live streaming whenever I mix on Sundays. The only thing is I don't have that much space at front of house to be able to like do it, and I don't want people to like, I don't want to make it a whole massive production and take away, you know, from what's actually going on there. I've also thought about just doing a video of me mixing that and then just posting the video and talking about what's happening. But I don't know if anyone's going to be interested in that. That's the other thing, is like I'm just trying to get, at this point I'm trying to get monetized so I can then start focusing on the stuff that isn't so clickbaitable, because then I won't have to worry about reaching any type of goal or threshold. It's just kind of like, hey, I can create and not have to worry about a stupid ceiling that I have to meet. That's another reason why I'm going live, is so I can get watch hours. Because watch hours sucks, dude. It's 4,000 watch hours. Oh, nice. You were doing live first? I definitely was in the studio first, and I went to live. So it was that was an interesting thing, because I learned very quickly you can't slam a vocal with 100 dB of compression. I learned very quickly you can't do that. But it's what's been interesting for that is figuring out what things in the studio world that you can bring to live and combine it. You'd watch, not even live mixing, so I'm not sure this would definitely watch as well. Okay, I'll definitely note that. Okay. Yeah, I started doing live. It's all been from church, mostly. Well, not all, but like definitely mostly. I started it when I went to college for media production, and I took an audio course, which I already knew how to do all this crap before then. I just took the audio course because like I already know what to do. I'm just gonna take it, get an easy A, and I don't know, because I like audio.
Why not? It'll be a GPA booster. Well, I got along really well with the professor, who was like an old dude who used to work at the studios here in the Houston area and everything. And it was hilarious because all class, it would just be me in the back talking and conversating with him, who's at the front teaching the class. And he would tell his life story, and I'd ask questions about it. We'd nerd out about audio, and then everybody else in the class is just kind of like, "Are we gonna learn anything?" But I didn't care, obviously, because I was like, I didn't care what was going to be on the test because I would just already know it because I already knew audio. But he worked at a church as one of the tech directors, and so I built rapport with him. He's like, hey, I need somebody on a Sunday to come and mix and or like train up an engineer. He's like, would you be interested? And I remember it was super like dirt cheap. This goes to the law of stewardship though. It was only $100 like for the Sunday. And to me, I was like, heck yeah, bro, I'm in college. I can make $100 just showing up on church that I'm going to go to anyway. Yeah, dude, praise God. And I'm like, I'm going and I'm doing that and learning under one of the guys. And there they had two campuses, but three different services. One had a Digico, one had an X32, and the other had the X18 or the X32, but like the compact one. So I learned on the X32, and what ended up happening. So I just saw some vid where someone's volunteered to fix some church. So yeah, I saw that. I saw that guy. I love those, dude. I love those. I wish I was able to. I wish I was able to do something like that too, because that'd be fun. But yeah, I started there, and then after that, they had put me in charge of mixing. So it was at a Methodist church, and they had a Swahili service. So imagine like white Methodist church, old white people doing all these things. It's hilarious. They had traditional service. They were forming a contemporary service, like with the lights and the full production and everything. And they had a Swahili service, which was almost like a black Pentecostal type service in a Methodist church. It was a very strange thing, but I ended up going there. It was the smallest service, and basically I was mixing just karaoke. I was mixing like three vocal mics, nothing really, just to behind what's it called? Behind an MP3. So, I went from that, and then once I forgot what happened. I forgot how I started doing the bigger contemporary service, but the tech director there, she started letting me do stuff once they got the LV1 because I understood waves and I understood all the studio stuff. So I helped set up the Waves LV1, learned on the Waves LV1, which is that's if for those who don't know, that's the Waves live sound console, which is basically just Super Rack as a console with faders. It's really cool. But that's where I really started to do the real live stuff, and I was making monitor mixes for them to send out, making sure that the broadcast channel was sent out right, learning things about Dante, all that stuff. And it was fun, but I was doing basically like the room that we were in was not very good. It was not a good room. It was not a good room at all. So my EQ decisions were very strange, and they wouldn't translate to the live stream at all because they had to be so drastic for the room. Because it was like, imagine borderline an auditorium, like literally borderline an auditorium, but there was hardly any people that were in there. So you're mixing in a big empty cavernous chamber, essentially. Almost no bodies to absorb the sound. And yeah, that's what it was with line arrays. The system was great. Room wasn't that great, but long story short, made really good connections there. And the other tech director that was there at that church, yeah, no treatment, nothing, literally no treatment whatsoever. But that church was downsizing, and they were cutting budgets. And I made really good friends there, and I'm still really great friends with those people today. And I work with the worship leader from that church, pretty consistently with things. He's actually the feature artist on my channel. The black dude Anthony Rogers, incredible vocalist, incredible producer, one of my
one of my best friends that I would consider one of my best friends. And so like I had this conversation to where, you know, the tech director that was there at that church, he was like, "Hey, I'm also the tech director of another church and they're growing. They're looking for a new sound guy, but this one is downsizing and cutting budgets." And he's like, "If you want, the spot's yours." So I'd pray about that, see all that stuff, and now I'm at that place where I'm mixing now, and it's, you know, it's great. You know, it's it's an extra 2K a month because it's 500 a week. So, you know, 4 weeks in a month, it's a good amount of income. The band's great, everyone's great. It's a really cool, robust system mixing on the DM7, the Yamaha DM7. I learned the CL5 over there, also a bunch of Dante stuff, and I've been trying to do more studio things. And it's cool though, because like a lot of the people that I work with at that church are like doing things like at the top level. Like the MD there, he travels and tours with some of the biggest, you know, Christian artists in the field. And the other guys who will go and mix there during special events, I don't know if you know Lakewood Church, but the guy that I work with over there mixes at Lakewood Church, which is Joel Osteen's church, for those who don't know, the big one. So it's been a lot of graduating, but I've been trying to like, none of them are studio guys. None of them are studio guys. So like they'll see the studio things that I do live and they'll be like, "Why are you doing that?" They'll look at my EQs and be like, "Why does it look like that?" They'll be like, "Why are you using this plugin just to do this?" Or whatever. Shout out Star Wars fan 1567. Woo woo. But yeah, it's been kind of like a weird journey of like melding the two together. And doing live is what made me really want to get faders. Because now that I mix on faders live, like I don't want to do anything else. It's so much fun. You can add so much movement, and that this is what has taken my mixes to the next level. Not, you know, a compressor or anything like that. Mixing with faders and just queuing all of them to read automation or touch automation and just going to town. Uh, yep, that's my story of live sound, and how it ties to studio. Now for this fun video. I'm like a third of the way done with this. Clean video feed. It'd be nice if this came out of my dang speakers right now. There we go. This is literally all I have so far. That's it. So I got some work to do. I have some work to do. Client sent me a logo that I have to download. That's not the right thing. Let me check what's going on with the YouTube video, the new one, actually. That's hilarious. That's so funny. I'm so glad that somebody said that. Someone commented on that video is like saying somebody wears earrings is woke just because they're wearing earrings is the stupidest thing I've read all day. I'm like, that's the best thing I've read all day. Thank you. That's amazing. MBSI graphics. PNG goes there. Come on. Yeah, I saw I got roasted for my jewelry. Yeah. Dude, that was hilarious, bro. Did you just see the comment that somebody said? It's about to happen again. Let's do it. I'm in a state of dissonance as well, trying to find a melding point in production mix wise between two worlds that usually don't get together. I got you. Yeah, it's like you kind of have to pick and choose, what you kind of want to focus on, or how, especially with the people, if you're working with other people involved, trying to communicate different ideologies. It's more so that's the biggest issue for me is communicating different ideologies. And in the live sound world, there's definitely a lot more pressure, I think. Even though this is technically a lot more in depth, the live sound thing, like, especially if you're at church and the standard is very high. I mean, they're not trying to be, like this, but it just naturally ends up kind of happening. Like it almost can feel like there's a gun pointed at your head because everything rides on you to be perfect. So when anything happens at all, people are like, what's going on? Whereas, you're here in the studio, something kind of like slips, you're like, I didn't bounce it yet, so it's fine. Oh, okay. I haven't colored this yet. I don't want to use too many of my money shots yet. I'm trying to find something that isn't too crazy, but still has enough energy to be exciting. Let me see if this one vibes. Maybe adjust this. Then I'm gonna slow-mo this part down. Man, that looks weird. Yeah, dude. Yeah, someone was like, wow, you can't take this guy seriously because he uses God Particle and Gullfoss on the mix bus. I can't with these people. But on that particular note, I actually, like, with God Particle, all I was using it for was just like, I think I had it at 20%. Like the actual knob was only at 20% for some harmonic saturation. And Gullfoss, I use Gullfoss, and now Mixhead too. I use both of those before I go out to the analog mix bus chain. Because what it does is it makes it to where it doesn't hit my output converters in a way to where it ends up hitting these weird and causing my input converters to clip weird. Oh yeah, same. Like, it's just, I see people say these dumb things, and I'm just like, I don't care what your credibility is. I don't care if you mixed freaking Rihanna, Beyonce, or whoever. Like, I don't care who you mixed. You're still stupid. You're still stupid. And on that note, a lot of the people who mix the biggest stuff, and I'm not saying they're bad, but they their job is super super easy because they're getting some of the best engineered tracks in the world. Like, you could literally just fader mix it and throw a compressor on it and call it a damn day with the tracks that a lot of these guys are getting. But, the key there is doing it very lightly. It's not doing heavy lifting. It's not like you turn it off and your mix falls apart. That shouldn't happen. But um, I find the God Particle is really sick if I'm trying to do something. I want to crank it out really fast. And it's also, again, really good for what it was made for, pop and electronic production. So that's whenever I'm doing that type of stuff, it's like a mainstay. It almost stays there all the time.
because it just does what it does very well. It gets me to the point that I want to get to pretty quickly. And if it sounds bad, you just turn it off. You know, I'm very simple. If it sounds good, it is good. I don't care what you did. I don't care if you ran it and reamped it through your cat's booty cheese. If it sounds good, who cares? Like, I ain't the guy. Let me see if this is a good one too to go after this shot. I think this will be a good one to slow mo. I think I need to do a retime curve instead of just a straight split though. Oh, the CPU. I mean, I rarely use oversampling now. Like, a lot of the time I just can't, like, the aliasing that I hear without oversampling doesn't like bad. And most of the time it's just it doesn't bother me that much. But what computer do you have? It says Daniel says, what else have you been enjoying on Mixbus other than Mixhead? So my Mixbus chain now is pretty solidified for the most part. And my Mixbus chain is kind of my mastering ish chain. It just kind of depends on how the mix is going. But I do a lot of heavy lifting actually on my instrument bus, more so. My instrument bus is chock full of Pro MB, bunch of Pro MB. So like the instrument bus will be multi-band sidechain to the vocal bus. I'll even sidechain the instrument bus to the guitar bus sometimes. And those and like so there's like maybe 3 Pro MBs that'll be on my instrument bus, which is kind of, it functions like my mix bus. Kind of like thing. And what's it called? That and my vocal bus go together to go to the mix bus, and then I have my cinematic post processing, like the hits, swells, and all that stuff. That's outside of my mix bus. So then I have the mix bus and the cinematic bus, and those get sent to the stereo out, which will have the final limiter on it. That isn't really doing anything. It's just there to, read levels. I'm just basically using it to read levels. But on my mix bus, like my actual true mix bus, I have, it's usually Gullfoss very first in the chain. Yeah, shave the peaks. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, with Gullfoss, I'm preparing Gullfoss for Mixhead, right? So I use Gullfoss, and it's what I like about it on the master and mixing into it a little bit. Have you tried side chaining your life? Yes, it's perfect. It makes a lot of room for other things. I sidechain my life to the blood of Christ. Oh, that's so bad. But yeah, Gullfoss, I find the way that Nolly describes it is best to me, that it does a lot of things that you would achieve, or that you would want to achieve, with automating a bunch of stuff in the mix without having to automate a bunch of stuff in the mix. It just kind of like, equalizes and balances. Like, let's say, you're going from a really dense chorus to a super sparse verse. I find that Gullfoss maintains the frequency response and like the vibe between those two things without it feeling like, oh, we're super big and then we just fell off a cliff. And it's not a make or break night and day thing usually, but it's like enough to be like, okay, that's doing things that would have, I would have had to do a lot of stuff to kind of achieve. And it also, it's equalizing. When I say equalizing, I don't mean EQ. I mean like just actually standardizing. I don't know what else to call it. The signal before it hits mixhead, and then when it hits mixhead, now it's not going to be crapping out, because you can push mixhead to crap out and choke your low end and do stuff if you hit it a little bit too hard. So I'm basically feeding mixhead a signal that's like really nice and friendly for it to grab onto, and then mixhead is shaving off those transients and making it nice but still retaining the punch before I go out to my my Dramastic Obsidian, which is the G comp, um, the G compressor out here, and the SSL Fusion. Yeah, Gullfoss is basically cheating. It kind of is cheating. I was very anti Gullfoss because I didn't understand it, and I was like, I don't want AI plugins, bruh. But it does. It just does what I would do already. It literally just does what I would do already. It just shaves off some time, and I only do it at like 10%. So it's not doing a crazy amount on the mix bus. It's just enough, just enough. But doing those things before I hit my analog chain, which is the Obsidian and the SSL Fusion, it makes it to where whenever I go through the vintage drive, it's not crapping out things easily. The compressor's not reacting weird. It's actually doing what it should be doing. When I want the compressor to like grab and almost act weird, that's what the instrument bus is for. I actually don't use a drum bus anymore. I don't use a drum bus compressor, I mean, anymore. Because this thing mixes for you, bruh. Yeah, if that's the case, then my mix would fall apart and I took it off, right? But that's the thing is, like, I never want anything on my mix bus to make my mix fall apart, even though I do top down. My philosophy is top down. So I put Gullfoss and Mixhead from the start of the mix. Or when I'm halfway through or done with the drums. So, like, once I'm done with drums, if I haven't started the top down thing yet, that's when I start. Because I treat my mix bus compressor or my instrument bus compressor as my drum bus compressor, and then I just add everything in it. No, I have a mix bus comp. I don't use a drum bus comp anymore. So the instrument bus compressor, I think of that as being my drum bus compressor, but I'm also just mixing the rest of the instrumentation with it because I want the kick and the snare to make the instruments breathe. And if you do a drum bus compressor, yeah, it'll sound sick on the drums, but what I found is since you're shaping the envelopes of the drums, once you go, if you have a drum bus compressor, you're already shaving off some stuff for the drums, and you have an instrument bus compressor, the instrument bus compressor isn't grabbing onto the transients of the drums in the same way that it would be if you took it off. When you take it off, it's almost like that mix bus compressor is working a bit more to pump and create more movement, because if you take it off, then it's just kind of flat. I mean, not if you take it off. If you keep it on, like the drum bus compressor, the compression that the instrument bus does is kind of flat. And then the compression that your mix bus does is even flatter, because each stage of compression, you're flattening out the transient a little bit more. You're smoothing it out. Whereas you want those peaks and you want those valleys for the compressor to actually pump. If you don't want any pumping, then yeah, put compression all the way up and you won't get any pumping. But I found that I was missing like that. I wanted that movement. I wasn't quite getting it. And I felt that I had to keep over compressing on the mix bus. And the other thing, I think that's why all I use is drum bus. Yep. Now what I'll do is I will use a drum bus compressor, but it's parallel. It's only parallel. I'm using it at about kind of like 40%, maybe 20%. Right, exactly. Doing the same thing but in stages. And it's all just about how the compressor reacts. It's about how it reacts. And since I have my instrument bus compressor is the 33609, or like I've actually been swapping between the two. I don't know what I like better, if I like the 33609 or the Obsidian more, but the 33609 is aggressive. It's very aggressive. It leaves a very, I would say it has more of a sonic signature than the SSL does. So it just kind of depends on the song that I'm doing, and since I have them as inserts, I can just swap and be like, which one feels the best, and then they'll just trade duties. But when I start mixing, I treat my drum bus compressor as, I treat my instrument bus compressor as the drum bus compressor. So I dial it in just as I would dial in the drums, and if you can get that nice push and pull with the kick and the snare on it, then that's when I fade in the bass, fade in the guitars, and then I start making that feel good together. And I find that doing that, the Neve 33609, the NEMA, yeah, for the win. Yeah, I'm just gonna write that in there. But yeah, back to the whole George Lever thing on how I feel like we kind of have a similar thing. Is he uses the 33609 and everyone uses a G bus, but those two together on the instrument bus and the mix bus. I mean, I realized that me and George kind of do a lot of the similar things, and I haven't even tried to do that. It just kind of naturally has happened. But those two things are very important to me for the movement. Like each one of those, like the Dramastic Obsidian, like that's a $3,000 compressor, and I would never sell it. That's a piece of gear I'd never sell. Like that's staying. It's too good. It's just too good. And the 33609 is pretty much there in the same category, but it's just a different flavor. And this one's the Stam. I think the Stam one's better than the Neve, at least the one that they're selling now. And it has the modern and it has the modern classic knob on it, so you can have the more darker sounding C version, or you can have the newer JD version. I've been going for the FG Red by Slate into an API 2500. Hey dude, plugins are fine. I've been doing mixing in the box for the majority of my career, and just recently, maybe 3 years ago, I started getting into really doing outboard, and it does make a difference, but it makes the difference of like it's just that it's the push and the pull, it's the breathing, and it really is just the compression. The Slate stuff is good, and I love the API 2500. I actually considered getting a hardware version instead of one of these, but I still might get one at some point if I could. Wish I could run my life through that 33609. Hey, you know, if you and the band decide to do the mastering through me, your mix will go through the 33609. I can guarantee you that. If I'm not doing any compression, at least for the nice 6 Juicy Mariner transformers in there. The Mariner and Carnhill transformers. Time curve. Gotta do my speed ramp. Yeah. All right, man. Peace out. Thanks for hanging, dude. Have a good rest of your day or evening. I'm assuming it's evening over there. God bless you too. I don't want to use like my good shots too quickly. I'm trying to like find some shots that are nice, but not like that's the money. Maybe this one can work. That is definitely not the right shot for that moment. I think that'll be a good shot. And just start it about here, and maybe I'll fade into it a little bit. It's kind of cool. I need something to do. What's it called? An easy way to make it go. It says, "You're gorgeous." Oh, thank you. Da, 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 da. What do you got going on today? Adjustment clip. Adjustment clip. I need to find a really cool effect to help with this transition. Cool effect. What do I have here? Da 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 da. Look here. Emboss. Motion trails is just always cool, but I can't do it on an adjustment clip because it won't let me. I don't know why it won't let me do that. Just chilling. Gosh, man, I can't find the right effect. Am I really just gonna do the basic stuff? You have a great setup. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this video that I have done and get that taken care of. Oh man. Where are you from? Oh my goodness. This is annoying, dude. This is so annoying, dude. Oh my gosh. One thing I do not like about video editing is making effects. I just don't like it. Bro, come on now. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Bristol, UK. Oh, nice. I just had a homeboy who was in here in the UK who is here. I am in Houston, Texas. Man, Texas. Oh man, I'm just trying to make sure that this looks right. I'm sure this is pretty boring. I'm too anal about all of this stuff. Okay, that needs to go there. Where is this? Uh-oh. Oh man, hope my phone doesn't die. I'm trying to get these two shots to blend in a way that doesn't look annoying. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that because this is getting kind of frustrating. So if I do it up to here, I think what I'm gonna have to do is I have to make a layer mask. Do you do any audio? Do you do any music stuff? Who's here? Who does audio and music stuff? I have to make a power window. It has to be a gradient. I need to build an alpha output. Is that what it is? Trying to make sure that when it blends, it does this. Okay, so there's that. That's crazy. And to make sure it doesn't do that. Originally a guitarist, moved into production and more into mixing. Nice, nice. Do you do this like full time or make money off of doing it too, or are you trying to like are you just trying to get to the point to where you can be like self-sufficient? Da, 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 da. I wish this would not do that. That'd be great. Why is it doing this? What a weird thing. What a very weird thing. That is bizarre. Why is it doing that? Reach the point where you're able to make money from it, have bits and begin money. Dude, I feel that, man. I remember those days. Like, that just brought me to PTSD. Oh, man. Why is it doing this? I'm just gonna leave it alone. The execution of that effect is too annoying for me to care that much about it. Oh, yeah, dude, it took a while for me because like I took a whole like solid year and a half, almost 2 years of just like I wanted to get to the point to where I felt like I could be comfortable charging. I was like I didn't want to like start charging right out of the gate. I felt like I needed to at least trade punches with people who were, you know, in the industry and actually good. You know, at least at that time, people like Joey Sturgis and whatever get to a mix that sounds like that, and then I can start charging. Whereas I don't know if that was the right move because I was like a whole year and a half of not making a name for myself. It was just me like in monk mode trying to like get good. And then I was like, okay, now I can find it. Was almost kind of like going in hibernation, finally going able to get out. And I was like, dude, this is hard. It's hard getting people to want to pay. And it was frustrating because at that point I was like, I'm actually really dang good now. And I can't, you know, I can't do things. I don't want to do things for free. I was like, I took all this time to get good and I don't want to do this for free. And I'm just like, It was hard. 'Cause I think I only did maybe one or two things for free, maybe. And I just I came out and I priced myself higher than other people who were at my same skill level. That way people would know it's like, hey, he's still starting out. Well, not necessarily skill level, but same market share value or whatever you want to call it. How do you get those first clients if you don't really have credits, any previously released work? So what I did is I did Nail the Mix. And Nail the Mix, um, you can get oops. You can do what's it called? Let me read that real quick. You can get all the tracks for a song and mix them and see how the engineer from that mixed it. Now, in the early days of Nail the Mix, you could use some of the songs up to 30 seconds for your portfolio, and these were more indie bands. They had labels, but they weren't like big labels, so they functioned more like indie bands. And but as Nail the Mix grew, they got bigger bands and with bigger labels, and now you can't use it at all. You can't use those tracks at all in your portfolio. But there is a caveat here. What you can do is they have something called Portfolio Builder, to where they have tracks there that are specifically meant for you to be able to use, to mix, to be able to showcase to other people. And the other thing that people did, and I know I did this and other people did this, is you would just, if you reached out to me and I was a band and you're like, hey, I want to do this or whatever, and we're talking about mixing, and you send me a Dropbox link, it'd be a Dropbox link to the stuff, to the Nail the Mix stuff. And technically you're not supposed to do that, but I mean, you're not posting it online. It's one thing if you're like, if you're sending it person to person in the DMs, like, hey, here's a link to this mix, because at that point it's like, can you just not show somebody a mix? Can you not, can someone not be in the same room as you? It's more so like you just can't post that anywhere. Like you can't post it online, can't have it on on your website or anything. But that was one of the things that I used to have tracks to be able to show people that were recorded by the top of the top. So I was and I needed that because that's what showed me the errors in my mixing skills and what was actually good about my mixing skills. Because whenever I was trying to record myself, I was frustrated that my mix were sounding like boo boo, and it was because I just wasn't good at recording yet. That was my weakness, so it kind of revealed. I was like, oh snap, I have to be good at recording. So when I heard those tracks, I was like, that's what properly sounded, multi tracks that a mixer gets is supposed to sound like from the get go. So it showed me where the standard was, and now I had to meet that. So that once you get to that point, then you can start doing that. But there's also a lot of people have taken the route of just doing free work, and I think free work is good, especially if you're starting out. If it's a good artist, if you can get yourself a good artist, there's no point in doing free work for a boo boo artist who isn't going to do anything. There's no point in doing free work for somebody who doesn't have any type of social media presence or doesn't have the drive to be a what's the word? It doesn't have the drive to be career driven. So one thing you also that I was told early on is if you do free work for somebody, don't ever expect to get paid from that person for anything down the line. You have to kind of go into that arrangement knowing, okay, I'm doing this because I need portfolio work and this is a really good artist. And the exchange here is that I get to work with somebody of a high caliber and something that's technically above where I'm at in my place for in exchange for that opportunity. That's the point to where exposure actually does matter, but a lot of the time it doesn't. The artists saying that, hey, yeah, I'll do it for exposure, you get good exposure, they're boo boo. They're not the ones. But if you can find a really good artist, it is worth it. So I would say be open to it, but also be picky. Like you have the right to be picky about that. And I'm pretty sure you'll find somebody who will trust you and you build that relationship with them. And once they hear that and they get big, then it actually matters. Then it actually will matter. Now, every now and then I will do free work. Every now and then. But it's super, super rare. It's super rare. It has to make the most sense in the world. So just be picky. No problem with being picky. I'm gonna see how this looks now. You see how this works together here. If I do something like that, and then keyframe it zoom. Put that at 80% speed. Gotta do some motion trails on this one. Maybe I need to put that at 40% because that's not slow enough. Motion trails, open effects. That's such a cool effect. Move trail. Oh my goodness, that is not what I want. Of course, man. Good luck to you and all the mixing stuff. I appreciate you sticking around and hanging. If I do this and at 30%. Oh, that's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. Oh snap, you're in Israel? That's awesome. Heck yeah. Have a good time with your family, dude. Who's still here in the chat? Who's still here in the chat? Do is I'm gonna put a curve right here on this. I'm gonna do add an alpha output right there. There we go. Oh. That's hilarious. I need to make sure if I do this, send the alpha there, I take this alpha out, I go here, and then on this one, this is difficult. There we go. I need a brightness flash here. Oh man. Name an NFL player for an edit. Martha Stewart. Daddy's been working. Time for your nappy naps. Time for the nappy naps, okay? Yeah. Daddy's gonna be working in the other room, okay? Daddy's right over here. Oh. Yo. No, I'm just gonna do a transition. VS Toolbox. Da 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 da. Where's the slide right one? This one's pretty cool. It's not the cheesiest transition in the world. And that one actually kind of sucks. It's the zoom in and out one, that's not bad. I have to adjust this pretty heavily. I need hella motion blur on this. Motion blur, high quality, pretty high shutter angle. Now I can bring this over here. Yay! take this and do rotation angle like that. Move it there. That's sick. I might go live later, but I'm going to go ahead and dip for now. Appreciate all y'all who tuned in. Peace.